Now then, something is about to happen today with Janet Jackson, although it's not what you think, and Fred the Shed, although that's not what you think either. And already a change of scenery. Want to know why? Well, there's not much point in me telling you why, because it's not very exciting. But what is exciting is what is about to be moved today. It's a rather wonderful moment, in fact. Presumably this rather lengthy wagon has already chosen the lane that the wagon driver wants to be in. However, I never think it's that advisable to come up the inside, because you just don't really know. And it feels rude as well. Seems there just aren't enough traffic lights knocking about to keep everybody happy. In the local area, you can't really go very far without having to hang around for temporary traffic lights. And I'm talking about going home will include 3 sets of temporary traffic lights suddenly. Taking a detour will take another 3 sets of temporary traffic lights. Going this way to avoid some temporary traffic lights is including some extra temporary traffic lights. Just outside the garage, there is a set of temporary traffic lights. How much am I going to be cursing if I get up there and somebody's blocked the entrance? Quite a bit. Wow, that was lucky. Like so. That hasn't worked, unfortunately. Let me show you what's going on. Would you believe it? It's still here. Oh, there's a crowbar down there. What's he doing there? The time has come for Susie Sunshine to actually go. But it's got a flat tyre. It's not going to be driven anywhere, but could do with the tyres being pumped. Gosh, it's cold out here. Yes, I do honestly believe this time it is going. Just had a chat with Steve. Very nice chat, actually. He's a good chap. I do like Steve. I like Steve a lot. This time he's made some arrangements that I think will work. I am now awaiting a phone call from a man that does doings. And the doings that we'll be doing will be pulling that car out onto a trailer or a flatbed, not sure which one, and shifting it out of the yard, which will mean another space. This is going to be a good week. Smoke. I'm going to use the Freelander to pull the MG TF out, because I can't get to it to pump the tyres up. So it's going to need a bit of of pulling just to do that. Gosh, this sounds awful, this, doesn't it? Sounds like a piano falling down the flight of steps. Oh. Now then, we're probably going to have the same problem as normal, where any kind of resistance and the Land Rover doesn't really want to do the job. Yeah, it's stuck. It's not stuck though. it's just not moving. It's got that far, which is not too bad, I suppose, but it's not far enough, is it? It needs to come all the way out. Job done, really. The daft thing is I pulled it out more than it needed to come out. I don't even know why I've done that, because now I've got to push it back in again. Oh, and it's balls. Why did I do that? That's more like it. It's great having the Land Rover in the yard to do these kind of jobs. If only it really did proper Land Rover jobs. Now, if I was you, I would be asking, why have I done that? Why did I pull this car out only to push it most of the way back in again, when I am actually full of confidence of this chap actually turning up? Well, the answer is, I am full of confidence of him turning up, but just in case he doesn't, I don't want it in the way. Those traffic lights I was talking about, well, you see, look at that there. Just look at that. As if this particular entrance wasn't difficult enough to get out of as it is, now they've done that. Apparently they're fixing potholes everywhere. Although, what I can see, you're all still here. Okay, don't worry. I know you're thinking, gosh, you've been let down again, haven't you? With the TF. Well, the chap who's coming to collect it didn't say he was necessarily coming today. Oh, look at that for a cloud, eh? That's fabulous. Look at that, what a great cloud. There are other cars going. Saturday, this car should be gone. Friday, this car should be gone. It's Thursday. But what about this one? What about dented Doris? Due to the amount of mud and clag everywhere, poor old Doris is stuck. Proper stuck. I've tried this a few times and basically not going anywhere by itself. And I wanted to just quickly get it out so I could take some pictures of it to put it up for sale. I mean, it's not a pretty car, but now it's covered in mud as well, so I'm going to have to clean it. So what I'm going to do is just use the Land Rover, not really to tow it because it probably won't, but to pull the ratchet strap up so there's some tension on it, then get back in Doris and use that tension to drive it out. That didn't work. So now Doris is out. Next thing to do is probably just to put it back in again. I have a soft spot for this shed. So much so that I did plan on respraying it. I bought all the gear. I spent quite a bit of money buying all the gear so I could do this car. But with commitments elsewhere, it's meant it's not actually happened at all. That definitely is going to need a bit of clean now. Yeah. Now that's the kind of picture you may see in an advert of a car that you really don't want to buy. The picture itself will be enough to put you off. Somewhere amongst the ruins over there, I have got a folding top for a Renault Megane. You know, the Mark II fat ass Megane. I bought one of those folding metal top cars, and the car was knackered, but the roof worked. So I took it off and I left it down there. And I looked on Facebook to see if anybody else was selling one, and there was two chaps, and one of them stood there with holding his fingers up in the reflection, or just behind it, and I just thought I would not buy anything off of those two. Does anybody remember when I put all these brakes down? Well, the trouble is I didn't finish the job off, did I? Because I didn't put any up along that side there. I didn't go all the way to the edges because I've run out of bricks, but I do have a great pile of them just there. The car's wheels will grip better on these, but it's time. Yes, it's time for me to get back to the great yard clear up jobby. I've gone so far with it, and I just kind of stopped because I got distracted by doing other things that may potentially make me a bit of money, and that hasn't worked. Maybe it's worthwhile mentioning that this car should be going as well this week. And with that, 3 cars out of the yard, that is going to be another little opportunity for me to just do something else for a while, such as getting back to the big tidy up job. Now, I don't know if anybody's really interested in this or not, because I think on one hand, why would you subscribe to a channel just to watch a man clear a yard up? Well, that's what's going to happen. The great yard clear up starts again next week. Oh, Boaty's car as well. That we're looking for a buyer for that one. Soft spot for Doris. I could use that car next month as my everyday, or I could use that one. Which one should I go for? I don't think Prince Andrew smoked as bad as that. This is one of those videos that doesn't seem to want to end, and that's because the conclusion hadn't really happened yesterday. Too many different things all going on at once, because it was going to be just about the car called Susie Sunshine and its rather long stay in the yard and its eventual leaving of the yard. But that's 2 days since it was supposed to be happening, and there are good reasons for it not going just yet, so let's not make any judgment. And in the meantime, a couple of other things have been happening, and I've just kind of rolled it all into one lovely big video for you to watch. But now I'm beginning to think perhaps it should be 2 videos after all. Oh dear, this was not a mistake because I have to come up this way, but I wasn't expecting all of this traffic to have to deal with on the way back. Oh, and in case you're wondering, in case you're curious, and you must be, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video in the first place on my channel, I'm on my way to Shore Tyre and Exhaust to go and pick up the back box for a car that doesn't even have a name, and that's because it's being sold, but it's failed its MOT on the exhaust, which I knew it would do, but I wanted to check that everything else was okay as well. And this is the second set of temporary traffic lights on the way to shore. That is my favourite exhaust place. at least this set of temporary traffic lights are worthwhile, because half the road is clogged up with barriers. "30 minutes from now I shall be scrabbling about underneath the car, and I have already made my mind up. I'm not going to film that because I'm just going to be getting dirty, uncomfortable, angry, antisocial and wet." I've just seen a man with a dog taking a picture of Toby Charles. He had a beard. Rather typically, and I'm sorry to moan, but it is raining, and it is predicted to be raining for the rest of the day. And the other trouble is, when I put this car on the ramps, to back it up here, it does jut out just a little bit too far. And I don't mean too far for anybody to not be able to get through the gate, but too far for them not to be able to get through the gate without complaining. And then, what if I need to go out and I'm halfway through that job and I've got the door open, I've got the car and ramps, arse in the air, ramps sticking out, people looking at me and going, yeah, the best thing I can do is just bring it in here and do it, and hope I've got, if I drive it all the way to the end, then back it up. That's what I'll do. And the moment I clear Nigel out, the sun comes out. That's weird. It is predicted rain all day. What do you chaps make of that then? It's not even pocket top. It's sticking out about 6 inches beyond the gate. Done. Let's crack on with it. Let this car go for sale today. That's about 10 minutes and one snapped bolt. I'll repeat that so you can hear me. That's about 10 minutes and one snapped bolt. And there we have it. That was actually quite easy. Well, the day is not going too bad now, actually. The car with no name has a new exhaust and now has a new MOT, and is just having its battery charged. And whilst in the MOT station, I got given a big piece of cake. The time is now 4:32, which means that I am hoping this chap is going to turn up, because I did say I'd be going about 5:30. Anyway, no problem. How much time does he need? I'm going to go and clean Toby Charles whilst I wait. Now, there is a slight sadness coming over me suddenly about seeing this car go, because although it's been a thorn in my side, so to speak, I hate that phrase, it's a nice looking thing. And whilst pumping that tyre up there and just looking at this rear quarter, it just made me think, I wish this was my car. But it used to be, didn't it? It used to be my car, but I chose to sell it. But what greater car could I have than an MG TF? Oh, I've done this before on the Anthracite F. Yeah, driving that back from the Peak District and thinking, I actually like this even more than my 420. Well, the microphone has been switched on all day, so maybe it's no wonder that it gave up right at this critical moment where the MGTF was finally trailered away. It's gone at last. Well, yes, I would like to thank everybody for watching this video and following it all the way to the end. Those who have supported by being channel members or liked the video or simply shared it. And thank you for believing in this episode finally coming to an end of the MGTF called Susie Sunshine finally finding its new home somewhere else. Oh, and by the way, look, car with no name. Another one out.